Another day at Manchester United, another bit of drama. We are the Kardashians of the football world, and I want to talk about it because there's a leak that has come out on Jadon Sancho that I'm not happy with at all, because I think this is more an attack of Jadon Sancho's character. It's more of an attack on him for no reason. I am all for backing the manager over the players. I'm all for, if Sancho's not behaving well in training, Ten Hag dropping him is the right thing. And I don't agree with Sancho going on social media and putting that statement out. I think that if Ten Hag thinks Sancho needs to work harder, then Sancho needs to take a look at what Wan-Bissaka did, keep his mouth shut, work harder, get a chance, take his chance. I'm all for supporting Ten Hag because I don't think Sancho's done enough in the last 3 years at United. But what I can't get behind are these leaks attacking Sancho. I personally feel that Jadon Sancho is now being attacked by the media. And, yes, he's had a little squabble with Ten Hag, but he doesn't deserve to be attacked by the media. And what annoys me about this is the attacks on Jadon Sancho are very much coming out from Manchester United sources, people that United brief. And I feel like Manchester United are essentially attacking Sancho. Man United are putting out briefs to journalists to attack Sancho as maybe a distraction and getting people to, I guess, be negative towards Sancho instead of maybe the Glazers and the ownership situation here. I think they like to create a divide in the fan base, Man United. They like a distraction because when we're united against the Glazers. And this was the bit of the report that wound me up. I mean, some of the report was fair, but this was the bit of the report that wound me up today. And it said sources around Man United describe Jadon Sancho as a complicated character. He can be loud and extroverted, but also can be very reserved. At an Adidas kit launch in Melbourne in 2022, he asked the event host to avoid asking him questions and instead focus on Bruno Mars of Shaw and McTominay. I just don't get how this part of the story is a story. We'll get into the rest of the story. But I just saw this and I thought, so what if he's shy? So what if he's introverted? So what if he's extroverted? Like, that's normal. And it really annoyed me reading this story. And I think Charlie made a good point here. He said, breaking, humans feel different on different days. And it's like, Man United just don't seem to get that. And I think he was absolutely spot on here. This is exactly how I thought. Honestly, crazy reporting this. Anyone would think Sancho is out of the ordinary for sometimes feeling more extroverted and other times feeling more reserved. Humans are very complex. It can be hard to understand why someone might feel different from one day to the next. There's no excuse for not training hard enough. I get that. However, going after Sancho's personality is not the right move. If he was that much of a problem, he would have never got to where he is now. A lot of hard work is needed to even become a semi-pro footballer, let alone a professional playing for a top club. Think we should sit back and wait to see what Ten Hag does and wait for the full story. And I absolutely agree. If Sancho's not training hard enough, 100% deserves to be dropped. I don't agree with Sancho going on social media and putting that statement out. And if Sancho is a trouble and if Sancho is a problem, then Ten Hag needs to get Sancho out of the club. He needs to remove him from the dressing room. But this attack on his personality from Manchester United is not acceptable. This is about his personality. This isn't about him not training hard enough. I get there are bits of the report talking about him not training hard enough, but for me, this is just silly from Man United. And they kind of went into more detail as well about this. They're saying that other staff members don't like Sancho, but it almost feels like a United brief to turn people on Sancho and distract them from whatever's going on with Anthony, whatever's going on with the Glazers kind of situation, because it was said here that some Man United staff members find Sancho to be rude and withdrawn, while others describe his demeanour as being shy. And then it obviously spoke about the pre-season thing as well. It's sort of just attacking Sancho's personality. And for me, I think this is a United brief. I think this is a United leak to try and create negativity around Sancho. And I don't like that our club does that. I don't like that our club puts out leaks to try and get fans to turn on players as well. I'm disappointed in Sancho. I'm disappointed and angry with him for putting that statement out and going against the manager. I think that Sancho should have done what Wan-Bissaka did, keep quiet, work hard. I think if Sancho hasn't been working hard enough in training, then Ten Hag is right to drop him, because Sancho's been known for being a problem in training for England and Dortmund. I think Ten Hag have every right to drop him, but United can't be attacking his character like this. Now, the report did speak about some more things just in regards to the case that were less of an attack on Sancho, and they basically just said that Erik Ten Hag and his staff have been particularly disappointed with Sancho, having felt they took extraordinary steps to help him last season. Ten Hag ran out of options, but he had insisted that his physical and mental state was more important, which is absolutely true. I don't mind this bit of the report. They say that Ten Hag was disappointed because he gave Sancho a lot of time out because he wanted to focus on his physical and mental state. He's been patient with Sancho. He believes he's a good player in Sancho. And yeah, I think this part of the story is absolutely fine. It's not attacking Sancho. It's just saying that Ten Hag is disappointed because he personally feels that he had been there for Sancho and stuff. The report now goes into what's going to happen. So what's going to happen between Ten Hag and Sancho? And to be honest, I'm quite bored of talking about the story. I don't know about you guys, but it was said that Erik Ten Hag is expected to come down hard on Sancho for what he did, according to sources. He will view as a challenge of authority. So yeah, it looks like Ten Hag will go in on Sancho. The fact that Ronaldo never played for United again, the fact that Ten Hag is a no-nonsense manager. If you upset him, you don't see much of the player since. Ten Hag is a pretty ruthless manager. I think that Ten Hag will come down hard on Sancho, and it depends how Sancho responds to see where the situation goes. I think if Sancho is apologetic, if Sancho goes, I shouldn't have put a statement out, I think Sancho will be fine. But as things stand, Sancho is sticking with a statement, and I can't see it being resolved anytime soon. Now, it was said on the report that Erik Ten Hag sets high standards and has become increasingly frustrated with Sancho's performance levels can dip wildly, sometimes from week to week, and often depending on whether he's regularly starting games. The same has been observed in training. And I think this is a problem, and this is what Ten Hag's picking out. Ten Hag knows there's a good player in Sancho. Ten Hag knows he can get a really good performance out of Sancho, and then the next week he can be really poor. And Ten Hag's observed in training weeks where Sancho's been really good and weeks where Sancho's been really poor. And essentially, it's been said that Ten Hag wanted to drop Sancho for poor training because he knows that he can train better. He knows he can play better. And Ten Hag thinks if Sancho is constantly training at his best level, he'll be playing at his best level when he plays. And he was dropping Sancho for poor training as an example to the rest of the squad that, you've got to train hard. It doesn't matter if you're Jadon Sancho, it doesn't matter if you're Marcus Rashford. If you don't train hard enough, you're dropped, as he did with Garnacho and Rashford when they were late. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how important you are. If you are late, you're absolutely dropped, And we saw with Garnacho getting dropped for being late twice. He's now one of Ten Hag's favourite players because Garnacho put his head down. If Sancho puts his head down and takes the advice from Ten Hag of I dropped you need to work harder, he could get back on track. But the problem with Sancho is he's took it personally and gone on Twitter, which I don't agree with. However, that does not make it right for the media to start attacking him for being shy at all. These leaks are fine. These leaks are talking about, Ten Hag's high standards and that Ten Hag's upset. But actually going in on Sancho's personality, personally, I don't agree with as well. There are other stories coming out regarding Man United today. There was another bit of drama coming out that Man United gave some convicted paedophile a guard of honour and all of that, blah, blah, blah. But I don't even want to give those kind of stories attention. It's just relevant negativity around the club. And what I do want to talk about is actually the actual news sort of coming on round, because it seems that Donny van de Beek is essentially finished at Manchester United. So I want to get up and share the Donny van de Beek news with you. Donny van de Beek is a player that I don't think will ever play for United again. And it said that Man United are willing to consider any offers for Donny van de Beek. There's now an acceptance. He might have to leave on loan. Donny didn't leave in the summer. Donny actually rejected FC Lorient, and then he came back begging for them at the end of the window, saying, I should have rejected you. And Man United are now like, well, we don't want you. You're not in the squad. We'd rather play Dan Gore. Man United are like, and this is an ex-Ten Hag player, so Ten Hag really must not like him now. Man United are essentially like, we are going to accept anything we get for Donny van de Beek. It was said originally by Rob Dawson that Manchester United are willing to consider any offer for Van de Beek, but there was a hope earlier in the summer they might be able to generate a fee, but they've now accepted that Donny could go out on loan. Rob Dawson also said that Donny van de Beek has interest from Fenerbahce and Galatasaray, but Man United are facing a race against time to offload him to see if he can get that move to Turkey. And it was said that Donny van de Beek's interest from Fenerbahce, it was said that Donny van de Beek has been told by Erik Ten Hag he's likely to play a role in the Manchester United squad in season. And I think the United Muppeteers essentially said that Donny will have no involvement this season. Donny's been told he's not going to be involved. And it's a matter of time of getting Donny that move to Turkey. It seems that Manchester United want Donny gone. Manchester United want Donny van de Beek out the squad, which is fair enough. He was meant to move in the summer and he turned down offers. Because he wanted to see if he could get a better move. He didn't get that better move. Then he went back to those clubs and they didn't want him. Erik Ten Hag's annoyed at Donny van de Beek for staying. Erik Ten Hag was reportedly even frustrated with players like Maguire for staying, but obviously Maguire will have some use due to lack of centre-backs depth, whereas Donny van de Beek could have some use, but, we've got Maino, we've got McTominay, we've got Amrabat, we've got Casemiro, we've got Eriksen, we've got Mount and Bruno. That's all viewed ahead of him. And Ten Hag effectively does not want Donny van de Beek. Now, that is a roundup of all the Manchester United news that's kind of come out this morning. I will be back with potentially a video or live stream later tonight, depending on the news. Please do smash that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Share the video. See you next time, and bye.